All right, guys, we are back with another exhilarating episode of Van Halen. I know everybody's excited for this one. Um, I'm going to go ahead and give my take on it. There's Rob and Darren on the set, and Women and Children First. This is album number 3. I don't know why I always thought Fair Warning came out first. But this one came out, then Fair Warning, 1980. This one. Just got them on the album cover. No women and children or anything. So there you go, another crazy album cover. I'll have to say, in my personal opinion, I probably like this one just as good as the first one and or close. I like it better than Fire Warning. And
What's
probably,
I don't want to interrupt you, Scott. What is the chronological order of these with David Lee Roth?
Van Halen 1, Van Halen 2, Women and Children First, Fair Warning, Diver Down, and at 1984.
So you're not counting what Glenn had mentioned. There's apparently another David Lee Roth Van Halen album.
The final one.
Oh, yeah. Now, that one's the one that came out when Monster came out for Kiss. That's when they got back with David Lee Roth and done the Different Kind of Truth. That would be the last one they done together, and I'm not going to say nothing about it.
So that was done after the Van Hagar era and David Lee Roth came back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead now. Go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's all right. This is part of the original David Lee Roth. Yeah. Third studio album, Van Halen all together. And I know it's got a lot of Dave doing his thing on here, which I know Rob hates. But I like it. I like it when Dave does his little talking spiels and acts crazy or whatever. And of course, there's some stuff on here that's kind of it's almost like what you're going to get with all the Van Halen albums. Almost stuff that you're like, what the hell are they doing? And yeah, I get that. I understand that. But some of their best songs, man, I think on this album too. This one don't get nowhere near as much praise. I don't think one and Fair Warning, but to me, it's a good album. I ain't gonna go great, but damn, it's just close. It's just too hard to tell, man, with these Van Halen albums, dude. I'm gonna put this at third, probably my third best from David Lee Roth. So, Women and Children First. That's my take on it. I like it. There might be a couple things I'm iffy on. So there you go.
Darren.
For me, it's kind of middle of the road, right? This is another, and we've talked about it on the other Van Halen reviews. There's some stuff that's good, some stuff that, in my opinion, is definitely not my favorite. I think there's a few experimental songs for Van Halen at that time, and some of it, and an experimental doesn't mean bad, because I think some of it works, and I think some of it falls flat. For me, I like this one better than I did Fair Warning. I'm still going to say Van Halen 2 is probably my favorite that we've done so far. Could it have been better? Yes. Again, I think we've talked about it. As far as musicianship goes, you're going to get good work, but it's some of the songs, again, once you put them all together, kind of fall flat.
Okay. Once again, there apologies. He tried to figure it out we'll deal with it for the next episode for Darren sounding like he's underwater. I'm going to sound like shit. I've got the Flu Manchu. I've got the Hong Kong Flui, the gift that keeps on giving from those bastards overseas. So I'm angry, and I'm going to take the high road because I'm so angry, and I'm just going to say, to quote Denny Green, or to paraphrase Denny Green, they are who I thought they were. Another album that could have been a 45. So there you go. And Scott, you can start us off.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely, you're really, you hit on something there, man. For most fans that is not, I guess, listened to Van Halen their whole life and been acquainted with these albums, you're gonna have that 2 or 3 songs that is going to relate to you, and the rest of it's going to be like a foreign place. And I get that. I understand that because they get really crazy and a lot of stuff they do, and I understand. I like a lot of it since I'm used to it. I guess I don't know if that's got anything to do with it or not. But I just like it when they go. You don't know what you're going to get next song type, But anyway, of course, my number 9. I think 9 tracks on this album. Yeah,
Correct.
is going to be. I'm pretty sure this is going to be your favorite. It's Could This Be Magic? Women and children first. Yeah, man. All right. That's what I'm going with number 9. They're goofing off evidently. But why in the hell do you want to goof off like that and put it on an album? Now I will question that. Okay. I will question that because I've got no use for that at all. I mean, if that's something you're doing in the studio and they just want to put it on an album, to me, that's just a little bit too. It's damn near tarnishing almost, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah.
A lot of bands tried to do that cutesy, funny track, and it usually falls fucking flat. I mean, right? I think like Great White did Wasted Rock Ranger, but I think that was only on a cassette single. I don't know if that made it to an album. There's a lot of goofball stuff like that, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. For me, I went with the Tora Tora brief instrumental. That's my number 9. Again, it is brief, but surprisingly underwhelming compared to the usual instrumentals that they come up with. So I mean, it's not bad, but because of what it is, just instruments, it comes in at number 9.
Okay, well, to me that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, because mine will be Tora Tora as well, but that sounded like it was supposed to blend into a song and not be a standalone instrumental. Is that correct?
Let me see. Now, you may be right with that, Rob. Tora.
It would have been.
Yeah, it blends into Loss of Control.
And yeah. Dave screaming.
But on the CD, you're going to get that brief.
Yeah. His Dave screaming at the end would go right into Loss of Control. So yes, it should be something that precedes.
Yeah.
A song, right?
And then that's technology, right? On an album, you'd never count that. It might have been listed as it, but if you'd have been listening, I would imagine, to an album on vinyl back in the day, without looking at the track listing, you probably would have thought that was all with Loss of Control, was it, or whatever? You wouldn't have thought that was a separate track. But yeah, for the reasons Darren said, again, just a brief instrumental, whether good or bad, I don't usually rate any of that stuff above music. It has to be phenomenal to be above the songs. So it is where it is.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm pretty much right behind you guys because I've got Tora Tora slash Loss of Control as number 8. And look, they really rock. You know, that some of these songs are really rocking songs. I mean, they really push the tempo on a lot of songs sometimes, man, even though it might be erratic. And Van Halen, you could very well say, gets erratic sometimes, you know, but they make it work somehow, even with the crazy sounds from the guitars and the drums and Michael Anthony's high pitch. Control, lost the control, lost the control. I mean, dude, it's yeah, man. It's just not bad. It's just it's one of those songs that I could, yeah, don't really matter to me. So I've
Well,
got
now
Tora
is that
Tora.
going to fuck up your order because you combined two
Yeah,
for
no,
one number?
I'll just do Tora Tora for number 8.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
like an eruption, see, because this
Yeah.
is the beginning of you really got me. So yeah, that'll be my 8. So yeah, that's right. Go ahead, Darren.
All right, next on my list at number 8, I have the song Fools, just like the two of you. Um, this is, I mean, personally, I'm just not a big fan of this song. It's more bluesy than anything. I think it's very experimental from as far as Van Halen goes. The beginning is slow. Song kind of drags on at 5 minutes and 54 seconds to be exact. It's long. It does have some good guitar work and decent lyrics, but it would be a lot better if it was a lot shorter. And that's my opinion on number 8, Fools.
And I'll just say this album, although I don't like it, is less annoying than the other ones I've listened to. It's more
Really?
there's a couple songs that I'll get to the last 3 maybe on this list, but this album to me sounds more cohesive.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay.
I mean, most of it sounds like the songs belong together on an album, where the other albums to me had such a dynamic difference from the releases to the other ones, whatever, we've been through that. So not that I like the album, but I did appreciate the fact that it wasn't so fucking painful to listen to. But I got Could This Be Magic at number 8, and my only comment on there is, can I get grits with that? This sounds something like out of the Bayou Blues, just a goofy song, like Scott said. I don't know if they were just fucking around or whatever. I mean, like I said, nothing on here made me want to fucking, smash my computer. It just didn't do much for me.
Wow. See, I would have thought the opposite. I would
What?
have thought this would have been, you would have probably disliked this one more than the rest of them
Well,
because I felt like they
I
were a
don't, I'm
little
not
more
saying
erratic.
I want to listen to it again. I'm just saying this is more of a rock album than the others. There may have been more rock songs, of a handful on each album, but the rest of the album was so out of place on the other albums. Where this, at least you could see they're like a cohesive is the only thing I can say to explain. To me, it sounded like pretty much
Okay.
everything belonged.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like it, guys, so I can't really say much. There you go. Um, but I guess loss of control, since I was already on that with the Tora Tora, is going to be my number 7. And I love, like I said, I love the guitar work. I love the drum. I love all the instrumentation work they do on this album. And of course, this song. It's just the chorus on this song is erratic, period. Uh, they getting that high pitch going, man, and just wow, quickly saying it, over and over. But it's not bad. Like I said, it's something that I've listened to for a long time. But until we done it, like everything else this last time, it's been a long time since I listened to it from front to back. So yeah, everything kind of come back to me. So loss of control is going to be my number 7.
All right. Both of you have already talked about this. Number 7 on my list is Could This Be Magic? Um, I'm getting an echo.
Yeah, I hear it. Try it.
All right, this is the lyrics are a bit subpar, and the guitar work isn't anything to write home about on this one. But for whatever reason, I mean it's okay. Like Rob said, it still kind of gels with the rest of the songs. It doesn't stand out as completely different, but it's definitely not a highlight of the album. Um, I feel like if Van Halen put out an acoustic song on every album, that would be a nice variety, as it does showcase here, since this one is acoustic all the way through. But they just need to do a better job with that song. So,
okay. Before I go on here, I muted Scott, and it's not anything personal. It's because Glenn Walker from Tales of a Kiss Geek is a fucking genius. And he informed us that echo is on Scott's end when we hear ourselves echoing. So, Scott, if you could turn your phone down just a little bit. Back in here, and yeah, I don't need to see that, asshole. Okay, so where did we leave off? That was 7 to me. Is that correct?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. A little public service announcement here. I mean, like Dennis Leary, I prefer coffee flavored coffee, but I do enjoy some flavored Keurig cups. Don't ever fucking buy Great Values blueberry medium roast coffee.
That sounds disgusting.
Right. I got COVID. So my taste, I can't drinking Coke or Mellow Yellows like seltzer water, virtually nothing. This stuff is so fucking wretched. And even Shannon was saying it tastes like black licorice, and I'm verping up black licorice taste. It's fucking horrible. There's nothing blueberry about it other than scent when it's brewing.
I like black licorice, so maybe I should try it.
I'll then go out and get yourself some blueberry Great Value fucking coffee.
Never seen that. All right.
I always get the regular coffee, but I get the flavored. I always get the regular coffee, but I get the flavored creams,
Syrups?
man. You know, yeah, like the Irish cream or the Italian, whatever it is damn good.
The whiskey,
yeah.
Me too.
Okay, so number 7 to me, I have Take Your Whiskey Home. And this should be no surprise to anybody. My only notes on this is I will never understand blues fans. Ever. I'm not going to diss on the song because it's a genre I don't understand and I don't like. It's just, it is what it is. I've come to accept from AC/DC and Van Halen that the blues is fucking unescapable for whatever fucking reason they think that's a good idea. Interestingly enough, not one blues song from either band is one of their fucking greatest hits. So take that for what you will on who's right and who's wrong. Me, who says leave blues to blues, or these rock bands who insist that they need to include blues even though they don't release the songs because they know they suck. Anyway, that's my number 7.
You got to take either the blues or classical, man. One of them is going to be in there somewhere. And I prefer the blues. I know you prefer the classical, evidently, Rob. Yeah. And that's the way it is, man. Like, Malmsteen said, he comes from more of a classical background, and there you go. Yeah, man. Number 6, it is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in a simple rhyme. And from here up, I'm in. I like this one. I like the rest of them. And it's just another off-beat type, off vibe, almost Van Halen song that works for me. I like it. I always have liked it. And the rest of these songs I do. Got no problem with the rest of them at all. That's at least about 3, I guess, for me that I could do without. on this album. But yeah, that would be, yeah. Dave, he's got his little, wow, but he don't, on this one here, he's not quite as bad like Rob, Rob, maybe that's why Rob liked
No,
better
I,
too.
I very, very, it was not that annoying at all on this album.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my number 6 in a simple rhyme.
All right. Well, ring the bell because me and Billy Bob have synced up at number 6 in a simple rhyme. I think the chorus is catchy. The song mellows out after the second chorus, and again, I think after the third, which it shows a little bit of diversity in the song. The solo sandwich in between those two choruses is cool. Another cool thing is that the song stops and then picks up again after a second with a much heavier guitar riff. So again, it's not. I think this song is kind of a sneak peek of what was to come on Fair Warning, since I think Fair Warning's a little bit heavier than this album. But I guess it's not a standout song by any means. But like I said, I'm trying to sugarcoat it a little bit. Again, this album isn't horrible. The song isn't horrible. But In a Simple Rhyme is number 6.
Okay, number 6, I think for me, one of you touched on it, Loss of Control. And I'll say this song had possibilities, but in not a derogatory, slam Van Halen way. It's just the best way to describe chaos. It's just clusterfuck of noise. It lacks any structure, but there's a lot of good points in that chaos. It just is a little too annoying for me. It's just too all over the place.
Yeah.
Just like Eddie Calvin, Nuke Lelouch.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5. And this is where I think somebody's done touched on this too. Fools, man. Yeah, I think Darren. Yeah. You two fools. Yeah, that's right. Right. Yeah, I really like this one too, man. The chorus, they do a really good job. They get up there on this chorus too, man. Michael Anthony really shows up on this album in the choruses a lot. I have noticed that, whether it's annoying or whether it's not. But yeah, Fools. Yeah, it gets kind of heavy too, man. I mean, their tempo changes on this album is kind of crazy and erratic, and that's how you can call that too, man. It's almost like they just, let's do this, let's try this, let's do the next album, let's do this. They got that blues part in there too, so yeah, man, they jab at a little bit of everything on their albums almost. It's like every album's an experiment or something. I mean,
yeah.
if you want to look at it that way. But I think they've done a damn good job with it, and that would be my number 5, right?
5, yep.
Fools.
All right. 5 on my list was Rob's number 6. That's Loss of Control. I think this is the most experimental song on the album, and like Rob said, it's kind of all over the place. The riff is kind of cool, but again, it doesn't. The rest of the song, I just don't think wraps around that, right? I mean, the band proceeds to like it sounds like they're yelling into walkie-talkies, which is sort of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of, I mean, again, it's experimental. The verse comes in with the lyrics coming almost too fast to understand. So again, it's the only good thing about it. It's 2.5 minutes, right? So
it seems like he's jabbing the guitar.
Yeah, I mean, but this is the song that the solo Tora Tora is supposed to lead into. So I think again, I don't know what they were going for, but it didn't work too good.
Yeah, they may not have knew.
My number 5 matches Scott. Fools. I have annoying vocal and guitar intro, especially the guitar string boings. What the fuck is that? Boing, boing. Sounds like a fucking Hubert machine. I don't know what the fuck he was going for there. And the intro is way, way too fucking long. I don't need to lose interest a minute and a half plus in before I hear one fucking word.
Now you know what all those women felt like.
What's that?
Now you know what all those women felt like.
Yeah, well,
they lost interest a minute and a half into it.
Very cool beat though. So it's got that going for it.
That works, right?
I'm taking the fucking high road here. I feel like shit.
I'm proud of you. You're all grown up.
Yeah. Don't get used to it.
Man. Yeah, we won't.
Too sick to get bent out of shape, man. Mm-hmm. All right. Number 4. I'm going to go with not Casanova, but Romeo Delight. Yeah, man. This one's really good, man. I think this is the last song on here.
No. Which one? Romeo? No, it's number 4.
No, In a Simple Rhyme is. Okay, my bad. Yeah, Romeo Delight. And here, there's 3 songs on here that to me are totally different than the rest of the album. In defense of Rob on Van Halen albums, that's why I said I could see that, and I could really see that with this album when I listen to it again. I mean, they'll play them 2 or 3 songs on the album, and then the rest of them, it's like a damn near total departure. But somehow, like I said, a lot of them I really love, and Romeo Delight is one of them. I really like that song. Always have. That one's never swayed on me at all. And that's why I've got it at number 4. Now, the next 3 are songs that have always been my favorite on here. And we'll get to that here shortly. But yeah, number 4, Romeo Delight.
All right. My number 4 song, Rob has already talked about this one, and that is Take Your Whiskey Home. Starts off with some acoustic guitar, so it seems like it's going to be a mellow tune, but then it kicks into the electric riff, which is quite heavy, and I think it's kind of fun. The solo is very good, with some very fast playing by Eddie, despite being a little bit short. But aside from that, the song isn't very unique, right? I mean, it's very bluesy, but it's your... Again, I think it's above average, but it doesn't stand out as one of the best songs on the album.
One of the singles too, man. Yeah.
No, I didn't know it was one of the singles. All right, that's number 4.
Me and Scott are back in the groove for the first time in a long time. I have number 4, Romeo Delight. It's just too busy for me. It's not terrible, but again, there seems to be a lot going on a lot of these songs. And I know a lot of people like that. It's just not my cup of tea. So it's hard for me to really be fair and judge a song overall just when it has tendencies I don't like. So there you go.
Yeah, and that's why I said there's a lot on here, man, with the exception of these 3 that I'm getting ready to name off. It's like a different album almost. And yeah, number 3. Always been a favorite. This is one of the singles too, from what I can remember. And this is the leadoff track, "And the Cradle Will Rock." And yeah, this one's just a mid-tempo jamming Van Halen song. Have you seen Junior's grades? Yeah, I mean, dude, just freaking, Dave's little thing in there. He's gotta say, yeah, man, great song, man, good vibe, get up, yeah, wow. He's got his little, and then Eddie starts rocking it. Yeah, it's a damn good song. I've always liked it. Number 3, "And the Cradle Will Rock."
All right, number 3 on my list is the song "Everybody Wants Some." It's a good tune. I've always liked it. I believe this song was featured in a John Cusack movie. I want my $2.
It
Yeah,
was.
when he's in I think it's one of his hamburger Pat the Pigs part of that movie. So I mean, rockin' tune. I think with Dave's howling, Eddie's sporadic guitar riffs, and Alex playing a very unique drum beat. But the song kicks in with those weird lyrics, and a good chorus. But like I said, I've always enjoyed it. I think it's always been a fun tune. On any given day, this might have been higher or could be higher. But there was one song that surprised me a little bit. I don't remember listening to it much in the past, so it kind of crept ahead of "Everybody Wants Some."
That was number 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Number
3.
Number 3 for me, "In a Simple Rhyme." Gorgeous acoustic intro. My second note is that is completely wasted. I don't think the rest of the song holds up to what that could have been. But man, Eddie gets his props there. That is a fucking beautiful intro. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. All right. Man. That's all right. All right. Number 2, guys. And both of you have talked about this one. And this one and number 1's always been my favorites on here. And it's always went back and forth. So, and I kind of, when I was listening to it, I was like, Rob, I don't know. Darren, he might. So he had it a little higher, I think, than Rob did. Take Your Whiskey Home, man. This is a rocker. I love it, man. Watching me fall down. Oh, yeah. Dave shows out on this one. I know Rob hates the blues, but man, I love how they put it in this one. And damn, man, they rock. This is one of the hardest rocking ones on here that's not high tempo. It's not music. When they launch into it. So, yeah, man, this has always been a favorite of mine on here. And a single you would hear on the radio quite a bit. Take Your Whiskey Home.
All right, number 2. Both of you had this, and I can't remember if you had it. I think you guys matched up on it. This is where I have "Romeo Delight." I think it's one of their heaviest songs ever. It's fast tempo. It has a crunching riff, but it softens up in the verses, which are short, but by no means bad. After each verse, the chorus abruptly comes in, and then the song gets heavy again. Surprisingly catchy to me. Like I said, this is the song that I don't recall hearing much before, and when I listened to this album, for this show, like I said, it surprised me, and it grew on me the handful of times that I listened to it. So I have "Romeo Delight" at number 2.
Okay, number 2 for me, definitely not as good as Danger Dangers. Everybody wants some. This has got a fucking cool tribal intro, one of my favorite things that metal bands incorporate at times. Awesome guitar fills in the intro. But David Lee Roth channeling his internet Beatty in this song, Deliverance, squeal after squeal, does everything he possibly can to ruin this song, but it's a good chorus, good guitar work, and again, I love the tribal stuff. And the chorus alone is enough to make this stand out, where the ones previous to this track did not stand out. Well, previous in my list, there was nothing memorable really. This one, I can still hear it in my head, even though I don't love it. It had some cool shit.
I love the way the line runs up the back of the style. No, 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 don't take it off. Don't take it off. Hey, man, how can you not love that, man? And I know it's close to number 1. I ain't going to give you much crap. Number 1,
Yeah.
Would you want to do that again next?
Everybody Wants Some. Yes, I love this song. All from start to finish, I got nothing to pick at all. I love every bit of it, man. The drums, the guitar feels like y'all said, man. The breakdown when Dave's bullshitting, dude. Oh, the chorus, great song, man. Da-da. And then he'll, he just really screwing with the guitar in this song. I love it, man. It made it work. I really do. I think he really made that work, whether he intended on doing that, whether they were just singing what it sounded like and let's redo it and without that, I don't know. But that is one damn good song that I've always liked. It's my number.
Sorry, Darren, I had to mute. I was having a hard time hearing Scott.
Yeah, it's all right.
You're number 1, Darren.
My number 1 is the lead-off track, and the Cradle Will Rock. That sliding guitar intro starts the album off with a bang, I think. It's a very hard-rocking tune, I think in the lines of Ain't Talking About Love and Unchained from previous albums. The chorus is extremely catchy, and the song itself is just fun to listen to. The solo starts at a blistering speed for Eddie, but fades out suddenly, which leaves... I felt a little bit confused when it just ends so quickly, but then it starts up again with Dave singing, have you seen Junior's grades? Then the solo continues even stronger than it was. So I think it's a brilliant opener. Best song on here for me.
And I say rock on. Yeah.
Okay. My number 1, like Darren, and the Cradle Will Rock. Honestly, and I'm sure this will shock a ton of people, I never heard this song until like last year.
What?
Yeah, it came up on Hair Nation, and I was like, holy shit, this must be one of Dave's solo albums because it was that good. Sorry, to Van Halen fans out there, I rip on David Lee Roth constantly on these Van Halen albums. I swear to Christ, he found Jesus or realized how to truly sing once he broke off on his own. But this song, first of all, shame on Darren as a guitar player for not mentioning the greatest thing about this song, which is the fucking flanger intro. The flanger is the greatest goddamn guitar effect ever created. Stop creating new effects. They are all garbage. All you need to know as a guitar player, chorus, flanger, phaser, end of discussion. That's it.
Wasn't the flanger the first one you had?
Yeah, that's the 5-finger discount birthday present you get me from the pawn shop. Awesome, epic chorus. I fell in love with this song the first time I ever heard of it, strictly because of that chorus. That's David Lee Roth. That's Yankee Rose. That's Just Like Paradise. That is power David Lee Roth, not this fucking talking blues shit crap that Van Halen had him doing. And the cool melodic solo, the breakdown is awesome. Like Darren said, right back into another part of the fucking solo. God damn, I hate technology. All right. Yeah, so great fucking song, regardless. But like I said, I could have had a 45 side A and the Cradle Will Rock side B. Everybody wants some, and I'd have been good.
There's those handful of songs, man.
I don't disagree, right? I mean, those are, I mean, again, I think Romeo Delight surprised me a little bit, but normally those two songs have always been my favorites off of this, and the rest was just, to me,
and that's all I'm really saying. I love to be a complete asshole.
You're good at it.
Yeah, I am. It's a God-given talent. Don't try to replicate it. You can't study it. But Van Halen, that's what I'm seeing. They are good for 2 to 3 fucking awesome songs per album. And it is what it is. If you like the other stuff, then I'm wrong and everything they do is great. I'm just not someone who wants 2 or 3 songs in one mold and then the rest of the album not making sense. So that's why I give Van Halen a hard time. But yeah, In the Cradle Rock, fucking phenomenal.
Wow. I know y'all would like that one, but I didn't know how high it would be. So, yeah, I agree, man. I've always liked them top 3. That was number 3 for me. Those have always been my favorites on here. With the exception of Take Your Whiskey Home, with the blues that you guys wasn't as crazy about, but I've always loved it.
I had it at number 4. It wasn't, oh
yeah, you had it pretty close.
So and I have one thing just to rant about because I feel like I've let people down today because I'm sick. But this is not strictly a Van Halen issue. It's just come to light recently because Van Halen has a lot of these intros that fade into songs. Why is it when CDs were born, there was a rule that the intro couldn't be part of the song? In other words, I don't listen to a lot of CDs anymore. So I guess it'd be interesting, Scott, maybe if say like the intro to Rock Bottom or not I Want You, but like Rock Bottom's a good example. Do they cut that into fucking 2 tracks on a fucking CD?
I don't. Take a look at Spotify.
Rock Bottom.
If they do, it would be
Rock Bottom. They don't.
I don't know. I'm just asking why can't the artist record that and splice it right into the song so whoever fucking prints the CDs can't separate it?
I don't know. That is because a lot of them are like that, but I know that Rock Bottom.
And you could do a slash in the title because like I've had enough Into the Fire in parentheses, right? So why can't you say fucking in this case Tora Tora / Loss of Control, so the fucking idiots at the record company are not to fucking put a space in between there. So jackoffs like me are thinking, why did they put this stupid ass little fucking thing here that makes no sense?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it this way, if you're on shuffle with a fucking CD and Tora Tora comes on and then it flips to fucking Fools, what fucking sense is that going to make?
No, and I think the first time that it really got to annoy me was on the CD 5-Man Acoustical Jam by Tesla, because that is something that I would hit random on, and then all of a sudden, like some of the talking that they would do in between songs wouldn't match up with. So I'd hear the intro of them talking, and then I'm thinking, oh, this is the song I'm going to hear next, and then it was something completely different. It's like, why do they have to make that a
live albums are? Even the Kiss live album CDs are terrible with that.
Yeah, and it just, I agree. It's always been annoying to me why they would list that as a separate track. Especially if it's, again, usually.
I don't think the band has anything to fucking do with it. Whoever's putting that in the fucking studio needs to know that when you don't start a song with what he was saying at the end of the last song. So it is contextually fucking doesn't even fucking fit with what's going on. It's not a hard job. People sit in front of a fucking computer and fucking splice it where it needs to be spliced. That's my rant. I'm done. Whatever.
to me, I think it's a lazy producer
Yeah.
or whoever's putting the CD together, and they're just taking it off there, putting it on, and putting the little slices in between or pauses in
I mean,
between.
I
Because
look at it like this, and maybe it was Van Halen's decision. I don't know. But you want to make your intro cool. You want to give it a name. Fine. You name it Tora Tora. But I got to believe there's no rational thought in Eddie or Alex's head that think any day ever that someone is going to want to hear just Tora Tora. Who's that fan? You know what I'm in the mood for? That minute and 23-second Tora Tora or whatever it is. So slash and then the name of the song, combine it together, one unit. If the record company or the fucking people in the studio slice it, then they need to be fired and castrated and never allowed to work in the music industry again.
It counts towards their contractual obligation for getting out X amount of songs.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That better not be.
Like,
I mean, think about it. If they need to get out 30 songs,
and that's lazy fucking artist is what that is.
Well, you never know. I mean, you never
and
fucking know.
To me, that started with CDs.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I definitely agree with you. I mean, that is
because, like I said, on vinyl or even on a cassette, it may be listed as a track, but you're not going to know there was a separation because it's going to go right into it like it was fucking supposed to. There's nothing more annoying than listening to Detroit Rock City on fucking CD, and you're listening to you're listening to all the way through, right? No fucking randomness. That car fucking crash gets broken up by a silence, and then it re-picks up with the after effects. It's fucking annoying of King of the Nighttime World. You don't need a fucking silence, all right? Albums could pull it off, and that was per groove. Fuck off. Let it all run together. There's got to be a way to program silence between these songs, no silence between these. Well, I can't skip to that track. Well, go fuck yourself. Too bad. Listen to it as the artist intended it.
I agree. I mean,
no, I don't disagree with you. It's always been a pet.
I never understood it.
Hey, I absolutely fucking hate, and I've always hated We Are the Champions, right? But it's a dual fucking thing on the radio. If I hear We Will Rock You, I know just turn it now because what's next is going to fucking put me in the worst mood ever. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. There's no separating that.
Oh. Hey, well, look at it. There is some good news for you since you feel like shit today. And that's, I'm still on my 2-week cold, whatever, but I'm slowly getting over mine. It's like forever to get rid of this shit. But anyway, the good news is you've only got 2 more David Lee Roth, 3 if we do A Different Kind of Truth, but 2 original David Lee Roth. Van Halen's left, dude.
All right, what's the next Van Halen?
Diver Down.
This is the cover album?
Yeah, it's got covers on it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then other than that, we've got the pieces I can't think. Twisted Sisters, You Can't Stop Rock, and the final Kiss album, which will be a while. People, just be patient because we are waiting. Tom King will be with us on that one as well, but we are waiting for Glenn Walker from Tales of a Kiss Geek and the band Walker to have his album ready to go and have the time to do it. So plenty on our plate. And did you guys ever decide, are we doing that fucking Vincubus Eruptum from Blue Cheer?
We talked about that offline for a reason. I wasn't sure if you guys wanted to. So,
well, I'll tell you this. I've listened to it. It's fucking horrible. But I will tell you that if Black Sabbath came out in 1970, this came out in 68, this is exactly what Black Sabbath sounds like, style-wise, heaviness-wise. Obviously, Black Sabbath sounds better. This fucking band is terrible.
No, like I said, I didn't say it was good. I just said that people considered it. A lot of people considered it to be the first heavy metal album, right?
Okay.
And it did come out 2 years before what other people considered to be the first metal album.
Well, let's just leave that as a talking point. I agree. It could have been interpreted as heavy metal before Black Sabbath, but what I'm getting out of this is Black Sabbath meets Jefferson Airplane. I mean, it's fucking horrible. It's psychedelic metal. Terrible. Terrible. You guys can listen to it just for morbid curiosity.
Well, that's why, like I said, that's
bad.
why I talked about it offline.
I thought we could do it just because it's 7 tracks, but holy fuck, that's 7 minutes of your life. That seems like a year. It's fucking bad.
All right. So just
I haven't got into that yet.
For some
so
reason, that Twisted Sister wasn't on my list. It's You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. That's the album.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
That'll be the next one, unless I hear from Glenn that he's ready to roll, because we got to kind of work around his schedule, being he's overseas with the massive time difference. So just keep your Kiss album ready, Darren. Get on it if you haven't started.
I need to get going on. I know.
All right. And it's not going to be fun. At least it wasn't for me. Like I said, I texted Scott saying, can we add another album? I can't find enough tracks.
No, I was on that text. Right. I saw that.
All right.
Then I hadn't done mine yet, but it won't take me time to put mine together. So
next one will be Twisted Sister. We'll rock the right way for a change. And then we'll go from there, I guess. Anything else you guys need to hit on?
I'm good.
All right.
Not really.
I'm going to go try to fucking it's been what?
This has been a, you're sick. I've had a lousy day, and there you go. At least we did get one in somehow, some more.
Yeah, I feel like I fucking wasn't myself tonight, but it's so hard to even concentrate with this shit right now. That is what it is.
Yeah.
Now I got to go to fucking work at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, all right. And I guess, fuck it. Until next time. Wait a second. I almost fucked up. All right.
Audio.